This
Rita.
is astonishing. What is the future of the Tory party? Will they merge into Reform or just become history?
Well, Nigel Farage has actually declared the Conservative Party effectively dead because they have been hollowed out in all the shires and all the counties. So they have no real grassroots base. So Kemi Badenoch, who's in charge of the Conservative Party, I mean, she said she doesn't want to have a pact just yet. It's probably too early to say. But they are on the naughty step. They are grovelling because they're paying the price for the Boris wave of immigration, where he let in net immigration at over near enough 1 million people in 1 year. Wow. And so the Conservative Party have lost their constitutional philosophy. Their principles are scattered. They're a divided party. And as a result of that, the British electorate have no faith in them whatsoever.
And Mayuran, just want to ask you about what this means in terms of policies like net zero, like immigration. Nigel Farage has come out and said, as far as he's concerned, the councils can start firing their climate and diversity and inclusion people, which is great news. But there are real policies that are in place. Tell us about them.
Yeah, so I think Nigel is taking a bit of inspiration from Elon Musk. And the first thing is the local government waste. That there's going to be a kind of Doge movement that's going to happen all across local government, massive efficiency savings going across. Because as you've seen in America, it's happening all across governments across the world. And so that's the first thing. The auditors are going to come in and look at the books and look at the accounts. And as you said, all kind of renewable wind, solar farms are going to be pushed back against. Migrant hotels. This is a massive deal where illegal migrants are being housed all across the country in hotels and even in private rental accommodation. And so the local councils run by Reform will be pushing back against that. DEI, as you said. Also, the work from home philosophy, you know, the kind of 3-day, have a cup of tea, have a cup of cake, have a slice of cake, and then off you go, maybe a couple of hours here and there. That the work from home philosophy is going to be put into the bin as well. So that is the kind of policies that we're going to implement at local level. Sure, they'll be resisted at national level, but that's the tussle. Labour at the national level, Reform at the local level. Labour may have the constitutional power, but Reform has the power of the people behind them.
James.
You know, the one thing I'm sort of concerned about with all this, Myron, is that things had to get so bad in Great Britain for Reform to start to see these sorts of victories. You've got a number of years left until you've got another general election, so you've got many more years of Starmerism. Is the concern that it is only when things, and this is where I'm sort of thinking about in an Australian context, only when things hit an absolute crisis point that voters start to say, you know what, we need to accept that the right is the ones to sort this out?
You're absolutely right. Unfortunately, it's just the reality of the situation. People don't follow politics as much as perhaps we would like them to. And so as a result, they can't track the kind of policies that are being implemented and the outcomes that are happening on a day-to-day basis. And so it is only when things get really, really, really bad that they feel it when they walk out their door. They see their towns and villages have been changed. The cost of living is completely been turned on its head, and their rights and everything else have been, you know, stripped away from them. That's when they start to realize how bad things are getting, and that's when they start to change course. But I always knew it would happen. The Labour government, in my opinion, is a vaccination. It's a vaccination against mass migration. It's a vaccination against net zero. It's a vaccination against identity politics and high tax, highly regulated economy. Sometimes we need to go through these dark times to understand what the right course of action is. And you're absolutely right. It might be happening in Australia. It's certainly happening in the UK. But I would say when the local elections, the British government understand what the brand of Reform stands for. They get that it stands for low immigration, against net zero, identity politics, and so on. And as a result of that, Keir Starmer is going to have to change course. So by voting Reform, he is compelled, the pressure is on, that he's going to have to somehow move away from the left and tack to the right somewhat.
Mayuran Senthilnathan, always great to get your insights and great to chat to you. Thanks so much for staying up. That's absolutely brilliant. And you're absolutely right. If a political party, particularly of the right, stands for something, they win. That's Mayuran Senthilnathan there in Britain.